Big Liverpool update. Jurgen Klopp reveals why a star had to leave, Salah decision confirmed, and a £75 million signing is on the way. Don't miss any of it. Hit subscribe and turn on the for Liverpool news and transfer updates. I had to leave Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp's comment wasn't what I wanted. Jurgen Klopp's man management skills have long been praised, but it wasn't enough for one ex-Liverpool star to remain at the club. Kieran Kelleher admitted Jurgen Klopp's label of him being the world's best backup goalkeeper wasn't enough to stop him leaving Liverpool. The Irishman played 67 times for the reigning league champions across 7 years but played second fiddle to Alisson Becker in his last 3 seasons at Anfield. The 26-year-old was consistently reliable for Klopp and Arne Slot, having notably played in finals of the UEFA Super Cup and EFL Cup alongside impressive performances in the Premier League and Champions League. A specialist in saving penalties, Kelleher holds the record for the most penalty shootout saves, 6, and penalty shootout wins, 4, in Liverpool history. Despite his accolades, being second choice to the Brazilian was not a role he desired, especially following the arrival of Jurgen Klopp this past summer. He departed the Reds for Brentford in a deal worth up to £18.5 million with the chance to be a number 1 too enticing to resist. Kelleher had a huge fan in Klopp who gave him his professional debut at Anfield, but the shot stopper wasn't satisfied with the moniker the German gave to him after his stellar showing in the 2022 EFL Cup final victory against Chelsea. Kelleher made several important saves during the match before going on to score the decisive penalty to hand Liverpool the trophy. After the match, the ex-Reds boss said, "Alisson Becker is the best goalie in the world for me. There are other good goalkeepers out there, but this goalie is absolutely insane. But to be honest, for me, Kieran Kelleher is the best number 2 goalie in the world as well. The game he played tonight was absolutely incredible. I can remember at least 2 incredible saves, and probably there were more." So he proved that the decision to line him up was absolutely right. And then in a very spectacular penalty shootout he showed the whole range of his skill set. He finished one off with his really skilled feet. So top class. Despite Klopp's praise, Kelleher admitted to TalkSport that it's not a label he desires. As he said, "It's not a title I want to be playing week in, week out." Kelleher picked up his first Premier League title last season but admitted in an interview following his arrival at Brentford that he almost left the Reds the season prior. "The summer before I came closest to leaving," the Ireland international said. "Then throughout the whole season I was wanting to be a number 1, and obviously the next, and probably best time for me to move was going to be this summer. As it goes more towards the end of the season." Liverpool team versus Brentford predicted as Mohamed Salah decision made amid 2 changes. Liverpool will be looking to get its Premier League campaign back on track at Brentford, with Arne Slot likely to be forced into at least 1 change following the win over Eintracht Frankfurt. With the losing streak over, Liverpool now has to turn its attention to getting its Premier League title defence back on track at Brentford. Defeats to Crystal Palace, Chelsea and Manchester United, all in virtually the same manner, with the Reds having fought back to equalise before succumbing to a late goal, have left Arne Slot's side for points off the pace of current leader Arsenal, having previously sat 5 points ahead of the Gunners. Mikel Arteta's side doesn't play until Sunday, giving Liverpool the chance to narrow that gap, even if it is just momentarily. At this early stage of the season though, it's vital the Reds don't fall further behind. Wednesday's 5-1 win at Eintracht Frankfurt was just the tonic Slot and his players needed, and having made 5 changes in Germany, the Liverpool boss should now have his blueprint for today's game in London. Of course, he will be forced into at least 1 change, with Jeremy Frimpong ruled out after limping off during the first half in Frankfurt. There's an easy solution to that problem, with Conor Bradley back in the starting lineup. Otherwise, the rest of the back 5 should remain the same. Jurgen Klopp keeps his place in goal as Alisson Becker remains out injured, with the Georgia international set to get a rest in the Carabao Cup during the week. Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate continue at the heart of the defence, while Andy Robertson should keep his place at left-back over Milos Kerkez. If there are any doubts over Ryan Gravenberch after the midfielder twisted his ankle against Manchester United, then he shouldn't be risked. He is far too important a player in this side, so Slot needs to look at the bigger picture with regard to the rest of the season. Therefore, we're sticking with Curtis Jones alongside Dominic Szoboszlai. Alexis Mac Allister will no doubt come back into consideration, but Jones didn't do anything to deserve being dropped in his record-breaking display on Wednesday. As we move into the attack, let's hope his 2 assists in midweek will be the moment that kickstarts Florian Wirtz's Liverpool career. It's not just his performance in Frankfurt though that means he should get a start against Brentford, having also been one of the brighter sparks off the bench against United. Cody Gakpo is in good form in front of goal, and Hugo Ekitike will surely keep his place up front, leaving just one question remaining over Alexander Isak and Mohamed Salah. Given the doubt over the former's fitness, it seems a good bet that Salah will return this weekend. There is an argument for Federico Chiesa to be given a go, although if we're basing this on what Slot would choose, then it's probably Richard Hughes will push the button on sensational £75 million forward deal. Liverpool have just ended a very tricky sequence of fixtures. Arne Slot's Premier League champions were defeated in 4 consecutive games, 3 in the top flight and 1 more in the Champions League. That poor run was snapped in midweek when the Reds won 5-1 against Eintracht Frankfurt. It was an accomplished attacking performance from the Merseysiders, featuring 2 assists from summer signing Florian Wirtz. But there remain question marks over this Liverpool attacking shape, with improvements sure to be made in transfer windows upcoming. Fans will believe that an upgrade on Cody Gakpo is possible, and Rio Ngumoha is not being given any time to shine. On the other side there's the thorny issue of Mohamed Salah. Liverpool tipped to complete £75 million Semenyo deal. The Egyptian king is in, perhaps, the worst form of his Liverpool career. At 33 he is coming to the end, with his current deal due to expire in 2027. And one player who's been linked as a potential option on both sides of the attack is Antoine Semenyo. The 25-year-old Bournemouth standout will be available for around £75 million, according to various reports, and is among the league's best-performing players this season. He moved to the South Coast from Bristol City back in 2023 for a £10 million fee, with his signing overseen by current Liverpool sporting director Richard Hughes. Semenyo not going to AFCON. The former technical director at Bournemouth, Hughes could be the red secret weapon in any chase for Ghana international Semenyo. And according to Mark Douglas for the iPaper, the man who broke the story of Liverpool's reported interest, the Premier League champions could be prepared to sanction a January deal for Semenyo. Liverpool are not afraid of making January signings, as the cases of Virgil van Dijk, Luis Suarez, and Daniel Sturridge would prove. So long as the price is right and the opportunity arises, then the Reds could strike a deal. And even better for any prospective buyers is that Semenyo will not be going to the Africa Cup of Nations with the Black Stars of Ghana. Hughes could push the button in January. For the first time since 2004, the 4-time African champions have failed to qualify, meaning Liverpool stand to benefit from his extra availability. That stands in contrast to Salah, who heads off with Egypt and could miss up to 12 matches for his club. The story for me this week is that they may push the button in January. For Semenyo, Liverpool do have a tradition of doing stuff then if they feel like they can get ahead of the game, Douglas tells the Anfield Wrap. Salah's going to the African nations. Ghana didn't qualify, so Semenyo won't be going. It is an intriguing prospect and one which could give Liverpool's chances of retaining their Premier League title an almighty boost. Arne Slot will finally hand debut to forgotten new Liverpool signing. A Liverpool new signing is going to make his debut for the club after waiting many months to do it. Arne Slot has a new squad, new players, and new challenges this season. Right now, the Liverpool head coach is still trying to get to grips with what exactly the best formation and system is. His side may have won their first 7 games of the season but then also lost for consecutive matches before returning to winning ways again against Eintracht Frankfurt. It's about how they follow that game up now. Liverpool's next period before the November international break is going to be crucial in determining the outcome of the rest of the season. Up first is a game away at Brentford. Then there's a follow-up in the League Cup where Liverpool have the chance to get to a quarter-final. To do that, they have to beat a Crystal Palace side who have already beaten them this season but who are in a bad run of form. It's expected with Liverpool's busy period that Arne Slot is going to be changing his team around for the League Cup game. There will be opportunities for the club's younger and more fringe rotational players to come in and start the game. This includes the likes of Wataru Endo, probably Federico Chiesa, as well as Rio Ngumoha and Trey Nyoni. There may even be an opportunity for someone like Josh Sonolambi. But there's also likely going to be a debutant in between the sticks. According to the Daily Mail, Freddie Woodman is expected to start against Crystal Palace with Alisson Becker still injured. Slot likes to give the League Cup games to his backup goalkeepers. At present, this is Woodman. Georgi Mamardashvili is the club's first choice until Alisson is away. So, the 28-year-old looks like he's going to be coming in for his debut. It's a long-awaited debut considering Woodman joined the club on the 1st of July. He's been a key figure behind-the-scenes training with the Reds' new goalkeeping department that includes Mamardashvili, fellow new signing Armin Peksi and new goalkeeper coaches who arrived this summer including Xavi Valero. The game will be an opportunity for Liverpool fans to get to know Woodman as well. Amid all the new signings, he's been a little bit forgotten about. Now it will be a chance for him to make his mark at Anfield in front of the club's supporters. Kenny Dalglish says he's very confident he knows what will happen with Liverpool's new signings. Kenny Dalglish believes that every single one of Liverpool's new signings has something to offer on Slot this season. Liverpool spent a hefty chunk of change in the summer transfer window, with over £400 million being spent on new recruits. And, while some, such as Hugo Ekitike, have hit the ground running, most of their new additions have failed to live up to the standards expected of them. However, this hasn't stopped King Kenny from saying that he thinks every one of the Reds' summer transfers will come good at one point or another. Kenny Dalglish says that the fan support will be what helps Liverpool's new signings come good. Going into the 2025-26 season, most people expected Liverpool to be impossible to beat with how much talent the club had added to their ranks. Players such as Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz were expected to completely transform the way that Liverpool play, but in reality, this has been far from the case. It's not like Slot hasn't tried to get the best out of them either, as he's tried most of his new players in several different positions. Despite all of this, Dalglish still thinks that the Reds' new signings will come good, even if it does take them a little while to get used to being Liverpool players. Listen, all the boys will take varying amounts of time to settle down, but every one of them have something that they can offer Liverpool Football Club, he said on TalkSport. They will do that, I'm sure they will do it, I'm very confident they will do it. Maybe not every single one of them, but the vast majority of them. They'll get fantastic support from the people that come to watch, which is really encouraging as well. We'll keep our fingers crossed and wish them all the best. Liverpool must build upon their 5-1 win v Eintracht Frankfurt if they want to get back to their best. Aside from Wednesday's 5-1 win against Eintracht Frankfurt in the Champions League, it's been a rough old month to be a Liverpool supporter. In fact, things got so bad that Slot's men were even beaten by Manchester United at Anfield, which is something that hasn't happened for the last 9 years. However, now that they've netted 5 against a decent opposition, it should give them a boost of confidence and potentially allow them to build upon it. Indeed, Wednesday's tie didn't include Mohamed Salah until the last 20 minutes or so of the game, but the fact that this allowed Wirtz to thrive and put in his best Liverpool performance yet shows that experiments need to be undertaken. Slot's free-flowing 4-4-2 formation feels like the best way for the Dutchman to get the best out of his first-team squad. With their next game set to come against Brentford on Sunday evening, it'll be a good time to test whether that was just a one-off performance or not. Arne Slot is trying to revamp his team to prepare them for another challenging